Hey, what is up, nerds, geeks, and collectors alike? Today we are taking a look at the Transformers Studio Series number 87, the Transformers Dark of the Moon Deluxe Class Bumblebee. Taking a look at this figure, there's nothing really new here. We've already had this figure twice now, or at least the mold of this figure twice now for Bumblebee. And the head isn't really new here. Matter of fact, it's the same from the last night one. The new piece is actually the chest and the spoiler at the back, though it doesn't really have any significant impact for the robot mode. That will shine more on the alt mode. For a better idea of how he fares with his previous incarnations, here we have the Transformers the movie Bumblebee. This is the first version, and here we have the Revenge of the Fallen version. And as you can see, the Revenge of the Fallen version is actually the one with the most unique color between the three of them, since Revenge of the Fallen is more of a orange type, while these two are yellow. But to my observation, the Dark of the Moon is much more yellowish than the first one. The first one has this orange hue to it. It's subtle. The orange is very subtle, and you'll only notice it if you put these guys side by side. And here we have the Transformers The Last Night Bumblebee, and the reason why I brought this figure out was because I wanted to compare the heads. As you can see right here, the heads are exactly the same. The thing you will notice is that the older one has the Autobot logo, while the newer one does not, as well as the silver at the side here. And this really bothers me because we're going backwards with the newer figures instead of going forward, where we should be getting upgrades in order to be more faithful to their on-screen appearance. As you can see here, the two previous versions had the Autobot logo, and here we have Last Night Bumblebee falling over the Revenge of the Fallen. I know it's a battle mask, but the place where the Autobot logo should be did not change, so there's no reason why you can't have it there again. And another case is the shoulders. As you can see, it's just yellow plastic as opposed to the first one where we had gunmetal gray, and on the other one we had silver. With the new one, we have no paint whatsoever, and it's really bothersome that we're going backwards instead of forward. And moving on to the accessories, Bumblebee only comes with this arm cannon. Nothing special here. Again, we already seen this, just a different color. The only good thing about this is that I won't get confused, since the two previous ones were black and this one is a new color, so I'll know that this particular cannon goes to Dark of the Moon, this one goes to Revenge of the Fallen, and this one goes to the first movie Bumblebee. And moving on to the articulation, again, it's the same base body, so you know how this goes already. The head can go side to side that far. He can look up that far, which is restricted by the kibble on his back right here. And he can look down that far. And his arms can extend that far out. He cannot do the 360 with the arms because of his kibble right here at the back. The tires at the back. He has a ball joint on the elbow. You can do a 90-degree bend as well as a swivel. And no articulation with the hands whatsoever, but he does have a waist swivel, which is also restricted by the kibble on his back. So be careful with that. You can adjust the kibble on his back. And his legs are on a ball joint right here. As you can see, he can do the spread very well. He can kick very well and kick back that good. That's actually a pretty good range of motion. And again, just to double check, he can do the splits very well. His kibble does get in the way, especially the ones on his thighs. Right there, he has a upper thigh swivel as well as a 90-degree bend. He doesn't have a pivot, but move this shin guard a little bit, then you can access that pivot. But that's more for the transformation, but that doesn't mean you can't utilize that. So that's about it for Bumblebee's articulation. For size comparisons, let's bring these guys back. Let me just adjust the wings. I like to configure the wings this way since it gives Bumblebee so much more personality, especially when you're just displaying him. As you can see, they're a little below 5 inches, which is now the new standard size for deluxe class figures depending on their on-screen appearance. Now let's move on to the transformation. And here we have Transformers Dark of the Moon, Bumblebee in his 2010 Chevrolet Camaro SS. And this particular alt mode is my favorite among all of the live action Bumblebee alternate forms. Yes, even the high octane. I have a soft spot for the high octane, but there's something about the Dark of the Moon Chevrolet Camaro that really speaks to me. And for his size, as you can see here, Bumblebee is about 1.5 inches high, and he is at 4.5 inches long. And then let's double check. Yep, he is about 1.5 inches when it comes to his height in alt mode, and he is a little below 2 inches when it comes to his width. And let's bring in the movie 1, and then let's just position them here, and let's bring in the Revenge of the Fallen Bumblebee. There you have it. That's the difference and similarities that these figures have. So to summarize my thoughts with the figure, Dark of the Moon Bumblebee, in terms of robot mode, there's nothing really special about him. Again, the only thing that he has going for him is the new chest piece. This figure really shines more in his alt mode. I can't really say that this guy is a must-have, especially if you have the movie 1. But if you don't have the 2 previous figures, I highly suggest you get this one, because this is the Bumblebee figure that has the most vibrant yellow, and in my opinion, the best alt mode. Not to take anything away from this figure, this is a pretty good Bumblebee figure. It just so happens that I already had the previous 2, so that's why I'm not as excited as I should be. And maybe with the addition of the downgraded paint, that kills the hype for me. But again, just to clarify, this is a damn good figure. If I didn't have the movie 1 and the Revenge of the Fallen, I would be over the roof for this guy. So that's about it. Till next time, see ya.